up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel, and this is the sports channel for the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. All right, guys, today's topic is a little preview or keys to victory or X's and O's film segment, whatever you want to call it, for the Buffalo Bills, guys. So I took a look at some of the tape, and that's why this video is probably going up a little later than I would have liked it to have gone up. But with that said, Buffalo is an interesting team to study on film. I think defensively, they're very predictable, but very good at what they do. Offensively, they're not very good at what they do, but they're very unpredictable. They do use some pretty intriguing personnel packages, which it caught my attention because I was like, crap, let me write this down. Because there was a lot in this, guys. All right, Joe, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look through everything. I'm going to tell you how I see it, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think Buffalo is meeting a team that actually can beat it. I think unless they adjust their coverage, what they try to take away is something we're not good at anyway. So leaving the middle of the field open is probably it's gonna be hard for Buffalo in this game. Okay, guys. So our opponent this week, all right, the Buffalo Bills. First off, I want everyone to take a deep breath because regardless of what their record says, I ain't buying it. This is not a good football team. This is a very, very good defensive football team. This is a below average overall football team. Just to calm you all down, let's take a look at the teams they beat. Their combined record of the teams they beat are 6-27. Come on, man. They beat the Dolphins that are 0-6. Beat the Titans, who is probably that's their quality win, if you will, the Titans 4. Even though the Titans are 3-4, I will give the Bills their due because it's still a decent football team. They beat the Bengals that are 0-7. They beat the Giants that are 2-5, and they beat the Jets that are 1-5. So you beat the Dolphins, the Bengals, the Giants, and the Jets. Come on. If we played this schedule, we would have a similar record. Like, I'm not buying it. With that said, I will tell you this: as I look through their defense, as basic as their defense is and as predictable as their defense is, they're really good at playing that defense. They're very disciplined. And to be honest with you, this would be a game I think where Deshaun Jackson would have a hard time because it would be hard to get vertical on this team just because they are so disciplined in basically their coverage responsibilities that they don't make mistakes there. With that said, the pure athleticism of a guy like Deshaun Jackson might be able to win the day just because I don't even care if you put Ramsey on there one-on-one. Ramsey's going to get beat by a guy named Jackson. He doesn't have the speed to keep up. But I will say this about them, man. As I look through the film, the only player I saw, and I'll say this, Devontae Parker was having his way with them last week. So I think there are going to be opportunities there. It's just a matter of is there going to be an Eagles team that shows up with any heart? Because all these points I'm making are mute if the same team that showed up to Dallas shows up to Buffalo. If that team shows up, I don't care. I don't care if we replayed the Jets; they would beat our ass if that team were to show up. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you guys a little bit, and you guys hopefully you'll get to see what I'm saying. So let's start with the Bills defense. All right, so I brought this picture up for you guys to just take a look real quick. I'm going to walk you through it. To me, this is just a basic quarters coverage, but it's a quarters coverage with your underneath defenders and what appears to me to be a man concept. So on your left side of your screen, or basically what would be the top side of your screen, depending on how you're looking at it, but all the way down, their left cornerback is Tre'Davious White. Okay, we all know who Tre'Davious White is. We all know he's a good football player. Okay, their slot corner that's lined up there is Kevin Johnson, but he's in a man concept. He's the man on that motioning slot player, the guy that doesn't look like he has his feet set yet. Okay, and then if you go back up to the top side, you have quarters coverage with the Levi Wallace as the corner, and then you have quarters coverage with your safety there, which would be Mekhi Hyde. And then if you come back down again to the bottom, guys, you have your other quarter coverage there that's with Jordan Poyer, okay? So you have one safety that's not pictured, that's Jordan Poyer, who's your other deep quarter coverage safety. You have your other safety which is pictured, which is Mekhi Hyde, and you have Levi Wallace, and then you have Tre'Davious White as your other two quarters. So 4 quarters, right? 4 quarters, you guys get it in $1. All right, guys. So then you have an underneath concept that's really interesting on this play. If you look, you'll see that number 93, Trent Murphy, is actually lined up in a standing rushing position. But in reality, he's going to actually cover that tight end. He's going to take that tight end, and then you have a linebacker who's going to be assigned to the running back. The other linebacker will be your fourth pass rusher. This is a little interesting play design, and it's things like this you see a lot on the film with this team. They're very interesting. All right, guys, I'm going to run that clip so you guys can see how that play runs out. But first, I really wanted to talk for a second about the Buffalo Bills defensive line because it's a pretty damn good defensive line. So what I saw there is, you have Trent Murphy and Jerry Hughes on the ends, the defensive ends. Then you have Shaq Lawson as well, defensive end. Like, pretty good damn group of pass rushers. Their interior line is really good, guys. Ed Oliver, Star Lotulelei, I guess that's how you say his name. I'm not sure how to say it exactly, guys. And then you have Jordan Phillips, their nose. I don't know if he's actually a nose tackle. I didn't really necessarily see that on film per se, but he's built like a nose tackle. He's like 340 some pounds. The dude gets pressure on the quarterback, guys. This defensive line is for real. Like it can do damage against us. Like this is a very similar kind of Jim Schwartz-like kind of concept, except for the coverage scheme's a little different. Schwartz is more of a cover three. These guys are more of a quarters defense. But look, we did run the quarters defense against the Vikings to ill effect because we didn't communicate and stay, disciplined in our responsibilities, and Minnesota picked us apart because of that. But with that said, like there are some similarities between the way that they like to run their defense with the defensive line play compared to ours. So, I mean, we'll see how this works out, but that defensive line does concern me a little bit. All right, I'm going to run that play, and I'm going to let you guys see what happened. I'm going to talk about ways I think you can attack a defense like this.
Hearns goes in motion. Fitzpatrick steps up to elude the rush, stays on his feet.
Okay, you see how Fitzpatrick attacked him. He look, didn't see anything there, pulled it down, ran with the ball. But I've been asking for Carson Wentz to do, because I think Carson Wentz can relieve a lot of this, issues with receivers getting separation if he just tucked it and ran a little bit, because teams couldn't drop so many players in coverage if he does that. And he's athletic enough to do it. I know there's concerns with the knee, but at a certain point, like you're gonna have to have some risk, guys. In addition to that, I think we're especially suited to attack a defense like this just because this leaves a lot of room for players like Ertz, Goddard, Alshon. These guys that can really work inside zone, that can get down inside those zones and sit. I mean, they're good at that. Like, I think we can really attack a defense with those players. In addition to the quarterback run and attacking the zone with really good zone, wide receivers who can just sit down in that zone. You got guys like, Nelson Aguilar. I hate to say it, but, if you're putting Aguilar on a linebacker, if they try to match up with Aguilar with a linebacker, or Jesus, by chance they try to match him up with the defensive end, like you give that Butterfinger bastard a chance. Because I'm telling you right now, they're not going to be able to match up with the speed of that guy. If you hit him on a crosser and he's matched up with a damn defensive end, that's going to be a big gain if he can just hold on to the ball. Other ways you can attack that is through screens. I would screen the hell out of this team. If they start dropping into this type of coverage, I would screen them. Now, what do I expect Buffalo to do? Well, the most natural coverage to revert from a quarters into a different scheme to trick you is to go into too deep, basically. Is to give you a quarters look, but you're really in too deep, and then that takes away the flats. But hey, you make them do it. Make them get out of their, what they're comfortable playing and attack them. I mean, that's what I would do personally. That's how I would attack this defense.
Play fake. Allen looking for the fullback, Patrick DiMarco. He makes the catch at the 38 and gets down the sideline. DiMarco.
Okay. 21-man personnel, guys. I expect to probably see a little bit of this, if not a lot of this, against this team. Especially this aspect of, play action passes. Now, I will admit this. That didn't look that creative. But look, number one, if you play action, then what you get is our safeties and our linebackers rolling downhill because we're fast flow. So we're going to play the run first. But if he can play action us and then pull it back, he might have shots. With that said, the other thing that concerns me about this is I felt like there were parts of the Dallas game that we weren't really blowing out the way it looks. We just didn't execute when we had an opportunity to get back in. And there was a lot of missed tackles that would have ended drives that would have maybe gotten us to that 14-10, 14-14 mark and maybe turned that game into a completely different football game. You saw that was a missed tackle there. That concerns me. These defenders need to wrap up and tackle. And we've had a case of the missed tackles this entire season going all the way back to that Washington game. I mean, we all remember Vernon Davis looking like he was a fucking track athlete that was only 18 years old. Like, missed tackles can't happen. And They're going to come at us on 21-man personnel. I'm going to show you another personnel grouping that I saw on film.
Frank Gore running on first down, following the blocks of his.
Okay, that's the 22-man personnel, guys. And this one is a nightmare to me for the Eagles because although we have a good run defense, well, we had one, I'm a little concerned because of our defensive tackle play. There's not a lot there right now. I mean, we have suffered more losses on the defensive line than anyone in football. And this formation is scary to me because it's very reminiscent of the way that Dallas was attacking us with Ezekiel Elliott. Not that they were coming out in 22-man personnel, because this is, 2 backs, 2 tight ends, and a receiver. But they're pulling their guards in addition to having all these extra, blockers with the tight ends, a fullback, a lead back, to help. Like, guys, this is scary. This is scary shit. And I got a feeling they're definitely going to try to attack us early in the game, like early and downs. I would suppose they're going to come out and they try to attack us with 21 and 22-man personnel like this. Play action, they hit you with some 22-man, get big with you, pull the guards. They might even pull the guards in 21-man personnel. Like they could try to, it's going to be scary, guys. We've got to be ready. We got to be ready to face this, and we need to have these guys get to their outside containment and get ready to take on blocks. Because I'm telling you, I got a feeling this is coming.
Backfield with Allen out of the shotgun.
To me, that looks like quarterback run.
It is a quarterback run, and he's got the first.
Okay, 2-man personnel, 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, empty back set. Look, I'll admit, man, I don't think they're very good offensively, but I don't see a lack of creativity with their offense. I think they do get kind of creative with the way they'll attack you. And that's got to be careful because I think it's pretty easy to take formations like the 2-man personnel and start mixing it up and confusing the hell out of you and then make you try to guess, are they in 2-man, are they in 11-man, what the hell package are they in? So we really do have to stay alert for something like this because, man, that worked beautifully for the quarterback run. Now, mind you, I think Miami defended that in exactly the wrong way. Like bunched up inside, like with your line, it didn't make a lot of sense the way they tried to play it. But still, I mean, even the announcers kind of knew that they were going to run it there. But I will say this, they went to that a couple times in that game, and sometimes basically what they did is they tried to attack the tight end. They tried to get the ball into their tight end. So we need to stay alert for something like this.
Miami hadn't played much defense for Philly, and now he's out here covering the speedster Brown. Allen and
Simply put, guys, that's a max protect concept. 11-man personnel, so 3 receivers, a running back, and a tight end. But they go to a split backfield with the tight end and the running back. They go to max protect, and they try to get the ball. They try to get timing for the quarterback to stretch the field a little bit. It didn't work out there, and I do think there will be opportunities for us to get to and rough up Josh Allen a little bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do things like this to try to max protect. And by the way, they get creative in the 11-man personnel too, because I've seen them where they're in a single back set. I've seen them in empty back sets in the 11-man personnel, and I've seen them with a split back look in the 11-man personnel. They're a little more creative than they might appear. I don't think they've beaten anyone other than the Titans that's worthy to note. But with that said, I do see creativity in their designs. And if they go empty back set look and they have someone split out, I would really pay attention to Devin Singletary, their backup running back, because that's their receiving back, and they'll try to attack you with Devin Singletary. So we really do need to stay alert and pay attention to what the hell's going on with this team.
Allen has time and connects with Brown at the 30.
I want to give you that empty back set before we, got out of here to show you that 11-man personnel empty back set, getting the ball out there to Brown. Like look, guys, this is not a team we can sleep on. I don't think they've beaten anyone to really pound their chest about. But at the same time, I think this team's play calling, it does a lot to help Josh Allen out. I think they do a lot to help that young quarterback out. And I got to give it to them, man. When I looked on the film, I'm impressed with the things that they do in terms of how creative they can get to help this kid. All right, guys, that's what I got, man. Hope you all enjoyed this preview. Like I said, guys, I don't really do scores. I'm not a score type of guy, but I do think this is a team that we have an opportunity to beat. Got to make sure the right Eagles team shows up. And I'm telling you, I think we can put this team away. All right, y'all. It's that time of day. I'm about to jump off here. So I'm going to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. What do you think are going to be the keys to the game? And y'all know what time it is. Come on, guys. EADLES. Let's go Eagles, baby.